big man is somebody that in the old days you got respect from being an orator or respect for being a leader of your clan. And in those days, people like Yambakio Cook, Sanaki Giri, he wanted to go and see the Queen to get her to devalue the pound so that we'd all do better in PNG. This is when they were all learning how to run an economy. But all those flamboyant guys, Wingti when he started off, all these guys were very charismatic. The Highlanders were very charismatic. Sataya Bal, a lot of them, and unfortunately there's not much behind them because it went from being a traditional big man to being a politician big man, and that's where we've gone astray. But in the old days, you would not stay a big man if you didn't do for your people. Here you can stay a big man with money and support from others. And I think that's how it's evolved. Perhaps it'll re-evolve the way it should in the years to come. The food bowl of PNG is the Highlands. Absolutely the food bowl, particularly Western Highlands. Western Highlands and west of here will be the food bowl of PNG. You need the infrastructure to get it out. And once you've got that infrastructure sorted out, all the agriculture will be up here. The coffee will be up here. The vegetables will be up here. Cattle farming has to happen around the coast. Rice growing perhaps around the coast. But all the staple food, cow, and sweet potato and potatoes are all highland based. Madang is the best port in the country. Why the government doesn't recognise that and punch a road down to Madang rather than to Kikori, it's that close anyway, and you're going through the Jimmy River, which is very fertile valley, the Jimmy Valley, and it's the best port in the country, and the port exists. So in terms of cutting the time from the highlands to the coast, you'll cut something like, it'll be half the time to get produce to market, taking it to Madang rather than to the port of Lae. I'm really passionate about the way we've not educated the people. You know, I've watched for all my adult life every child going to grade 6, and then they sit for some kind of an exam and half of them get told you're dropping out. And you watch all these children whose parents send them off to school with clean skin, nice uniform, hair done, with the future gleaming in their eyes. And at grade 6, half of them get told it's all over. You know, half of you going on, the other half are what you call dropouts. You know, when I ran Bromley and Mountain and Collins and Lae, these 14-year-old kids would come and ask me for a job. You can't give them a job. The other half go on to, I'm not sure, grade 8 or grade 10. Guess what? Another exam. Another half drop out. And then the rest, the lucky few go to uni, the lucky few go to the end, and then a few of them go to uni. It's not geared to what the country needs. If you drop out at grade 6, fine, but stick them in an agricultural college. You know, where are the functioning agricultural colleges? You know, have a look, they're all subsistence farmers. Teach them about farming. You know, mobilise the people. We're talking about regenerating coffee plantations and spending that kind of money. Why aren't we educating the young kids today, give them something to look forward to? You know, that's the sad part. You know, and I don't know, again, it comes back to governments and Papua New Guinean people and the leaders of the country recognising what's appropriate for for their people. And one governor has, and that's the governor of the Enga province. Enga province in the old days, the pre and after independence days, was a province you would avoid. If you wanted to get beaten up or attacked or mugged, you'd go to Enga. Engas would fight over a leaf going over a fence into the neighbour's yard. That's how bad Enga was. And I say this as a Papua New Guinean, not as a foreigner. Today, he's got Southern Cross University up there. He's turning out university students with the equivalent of Australian degrees in IT. He's got a nursing college up there. People from Western Highlands are going up there to be trained. They're leaving this province to go up there. He's really sorted out what the needs are of the people of Enga, and he's pushing that very hard. And even amongst other politicians, they're recognising how well he's doing, and he's one governor that's focused on the needs of his people. And there's not a lot of self-interest with him. He has one or two businesses of his own, but they don't interfere or survive on any quiet government contracts, if you get my drift. And that's what the country needs. They need to follow, they need to look at this Me Too and follow others, follow successful people. Hagen, in my opinion, is the centre of the future centre of the highlands of PNG. It's where 2/3 of the highlands' profits are generated. They're generated from, all the money comes from Hagen West. It always has been. In the last 40 years that I've been in business, the money comes from Southern Highlands, Enga, and all parts west of here. It's the last part of the country to be developed, and everybody and all roads go through Hagen to the coast. And west of here there aren't too many hotels, lots of local guest houses, but Hagen will end up being the centre of the highlands, and it's high time that a decent conference centre and a decent hotel was built in the highlands, or particularly in Hagen. The retail in this town is largely controlled by two people, one doing wholesale, one doing retail. There needs to be a lot more, it's over trading here. There needs to be a lot more buildings and a lot more infrastructure here to deal with the money that's going to be coming from LNG and all the parts west of here. Even the little people in the gardens having a mobile phone, and that's enabled them to know what to plant, know when to harvest, know when to move it to the market, and it's been able to mobilise a lot of the agriculture. And it's going to be the little people. I don't know what the statistics are, but there's about probably 80 or 90% of the population in the highlands don't have a job. So unless they go out and work, they're not going to get an income, and that leaves agriculture as being the most important growth sector in the highlands. It flows on. The Highlanders are fantastic gardeners. They're absolutely fantastic gardeners. You've only got to fly over here and see that. I'm very conscious of our top 100 best-selling items, and say you pick Chemica, it's playing cards, it's marbles, it's dessert spoons, it's wool that they make Bilham wool out of, and they were in my top 100 selling items when I was 18, and I'm 70 today. Those items haven't changed. With the kina devaluing to the extent it has, people have gone back to the basics. So there's more emphasis on second-hand clothes. Whereas, as I mentioned to you, around independence, you could buy fashion items, you could buy a $500 watch, you could buy all sorts of things. Here today, particularly outside of Port Moresby, we've gone right back to basics. It's tough out there, and I'd say if you ask me what the biggest change has been the lack of government services and the lack of the government trying to do too many things in business. Policing, health and education, stick to that and let everybody else run everything else. Let private enterprise run everything else. Just give those, that's all the people need. Infrastructure in the form of roads, electricity, health and policing. That's it. And the people of PNG are very versatile and they'll do the rest, don't worry about it.